In this final video of the series, we will go over committing and pushing your code to GitHub, as well as submitting your homework to Gradescope. Regularly committing your code is a very important habit because it allows you to create checkpoints and revert back in case you make changes that you are not happy with. So how do we commit our code to GitHub? Well, there are two options. The first and easiest one is using the source control panel in VS Code. When you click on that, you're brought to a panel as follows. It shows you all the changes that you've made, and it gives you an option to stage them and then commit them, and if needed, push them. First, we have to discuss what each of these steps mean. Staging means to take a change you've made and include it in the list of files ready to be committed. So now eliminate.c has been staged, while these other ones are still only changes. Staging files is very simple. You can either choose to stage all the files by clicking on the plus under changes, or by clicking on the plus button for each file that you want to stage. In this case, I only want to stage my eliminate.c file because that's where I've implemented my solution. Next, you will have an option to commit your changes to the main branch. Before you commit, you have to give a descriptive message. So here I will say solved homework 1. And then I will commit the change by clicking on the commit button. Next, you see on the graph here how there are two different checkpoints here. One is origin main and one is main. So the main, which is in blue here, is what your current local repository is at, and your origin main is where your remote repository is at. To ensure that your remote repository and your local repository are synced, you would click on the sync changes to push your commits. Once that's done, you should see that both the purple and the blue ribbons are at the same checkpoint. That is how you commit your code and push it to GitHub using the source control panel. If you wanted to do all of this using the command line interface, you would simply open the terminal, and then you would use the git add command to add any files to the staging area. So similar to how we would press the plus sign, we would use the git add option. And if you want to add all files, you would say git add a dot. Now you see here how all of them have been staged. Then to commit them, you would simply say git commit. And to provide the commit message, you would say -m and the commit message, commit rest of the files. And to push them, you would say git push origin main, because that's the name here, origin main. So now we have pushed the rest of the files to GitHub using the command line interface. Once you have committed your code, you need to upload it to Gradescope to be submitted. Before you do this, for the first time, you will have to authorize GitHub to grant access to the EC264 organization. To do this, go to GitHub, go to your profile, scroll down, and go to Applications. Under here, go to Authorized OAuth Apps, and you must have authorized Gradescope by now. Once you're in here, grant permission to the Fall 2025 EC264 organization by clicking on the Grant button. You'll have to complete the multi-factor authentication step by entering a one-time password from Microsoft Authenticator. Once that is done, go to the EC264 page on Gradescope and select Homework 1 as the assignment you want to submit to. And once you're brought to a page like this, select GitHub as your option and select your Homework 1 repository and select the main branch and upload your submission. The autograder on Gradescope will run and let you know your score. It can take a bit of time to run, but once it's done, it will let you know what test cases you passed, whether you had any memory issues, and so on. In my case, I did not submit a fully working solution, so I expected to fail the output case, but then the rest of them should pass because I submitted the correct files, my code compiles, and I'm not leaking any memory. After this, I can go back, work on my code more, fix any issues. So for example, here I simply incremented eliminated. If I actually solve the problem, then I would once again commit my code, go back to Gradescope, and then submit my code again through GitHub, and hopefully it should pass all the test cases. That brings us to the end of this series. on getting set up in VS Code. I hope you found this helpful and have a smooth start to your semester in EC 264. Thank you.